tell us about the stalking situation that's happening with you. What's going on there?
Yeah, I don't. This newfound attention that I have is now bringing some of the crazies out of the woodwork. Mm-hmm. Actually, the last time I was here in Dallas, I was doing Sarah's show, and we were taping there. And then I went back upstairs to my computer, and I sat down at the computer, and I had emergency notes coming up on our Slack channel going, you got a stalker outside. Security just scared him off. Well, this guy had flown in from Atlanta, and to here, when he got to the airport at DFW, he actually did a selfie video that he posted on X saying that he was going to come here and he was going to confront me and Beck because we were, part of the, this underground mafia that's trying to overthrow the government, trying to take down Trump.
Oh, really? That's scary.
Yeah, and
people can be nuts.
Yeah, and so then he posted another video the next day from Daily Plaza.
So he specifically flew from Atlanta here to confront you.
Yes.
And he chronicled his little journey to get you.
And then he was video live streaming from here in the parking lot, walking around the building.
Oh my gosh!
With another sidekick of his that he had picked up here locally in Dallas.
He picked up a sidekick in Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they're
this Batman that came to confront you?
No, but they were milling in our parking lot.
Right? Wow!
See?
Wow!
See?
This is all connected.
And fortunately, one of our security guards went out and scared him off.
Wow.
And that's not the only one. I mean, I was sitting in a courthouse in D.C., and I was there covering the sentencing hearing of the Oath Keepers, actually, back in May. And this lady who was convinced that she has 20 brain implants that's been put in her head by the government.
I hate when they do that.
No.
Yes.
I hate when
it's a big problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wouldn't write about her story, and so
you bastard.
I know. So she got on a plane from Chicago because I had posted on my Twitter feed that I was going to be covering, the sentencing hearing, and so she knew where I was going to be.
Wow.
All of a sudden, I walk out during one of the breaks, and she confronts me in the hallway. I have to finally tell her, if you don't leave me alone, I'm going to have the U.S. Marshals, escort you out of here.
Are you not interested in the 20 brain implants she has? You don't.
Wait, I thought it was 30. Is it 20 or 30?
20.
It's 20.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Don't exaggerate this problem.
My brain implants aren't working.
The more interesting part of her story was that she has, for 20 years now since this began, she's every single doctor that she has gone to have these removed have all refused because they're afraid that they're going to be assassinated.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
You start removing brain implants that the government put there, and you know you're going to be in trouble, right?
Yeah.
That's almost as bad as milling, but not quite.
It's on the same level, I think.
So she was so insistent that you cover her story. Yep. You had to call for help, right? You called the authorities.
Yeah.
To have her escorted out.
She was actually getting loud and aggressive in the hallway at the courtroom, and I'm like,
wow.
No more.
Yeah.
What is a day in the life of Steve Baker like? Is it high stress? I feel like you got a lot going on, man, and I just don't know how you do it.
You know what? I have so much support. I have so many friends. My kids are great. I got to see them this weekend for the first time since Christmas and since my arrest, so that was great. It was a needed time for me and them to have together, and they support me. And the reality is that every morning I wake up, I have so many interesting things in my pile of stuff to do.
I bet you do.
That I'm excited to dive into it, I mean, just last week was probably the most significant time I've ever spent in D.C. I mean, I got to attend the Supreme Court hearing and sit in the press gallery at the Supreme Court. Never done that before.
Is that over the J6 case?
Yeah. That was over the 1512 C2 thing that they're going to be ruling on here very soon. So I got to hear those arguments, and that was exciting especially because Gorsuch and Alito were having none of the government's argument. They were just boom, 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 just shooting them down one.
Yeah, I'd like to hear about that because there's some important things being decided right now.
Yeah, that was a good clip that we had from that of Gorsuch talking about interrupting a official proceeding. Hypothetically, if someone pulled a fire alarm,
that was such a great moment because everybody is so quiet. I mean, it's church mouse quiet in the Supreme Court, room, and so when he said that, those of us in the press gallery, we were all kind of cutting eyes at each other, and eyebrows were going up. It's like he landed one there because everybody knew what he was talking about.
Does that seem like it's going to end up the right way?
I think so. The impression I have, in fact, I have a story coming up about that here in a day or two. I just submitted it yesterday. But the impression I have is that at the very least, it's probably going to be a 6-3 ruling in the favor of Fisher, the defendant, or the guy that brought the case to the Supreme Court, and that will affect over 350 January 6 cases already.